What's going on out there? Facebook world, Periscope, YouTube, everywhere else. This is Sherman Tank coming at you from Anchorage, Alaska. Got been getting some stuff sent to me all morning about this COVID crap here in Anchorage and the rest of the country. Well, it seems like Mayor Berkowitz, our feckless governor, or I'm sorry, not governor, feckless mayor here in Anchorage, wants to extend his uh, socialistic terror on the rest of the citizens of Anchorage. I'm going to read you this article. It was just put out on KTUU. Uh, make sure that I'm going live before I start reading this thing real quick. Looks like I'm live, so we'll just check it to make sure. Just going to double check. All right, we're live. So I'm going to read this. This is actually going in front of the assembly. I'm not sure exactly when that's going to be on for the vote, but it's going to go in front of the assembly here in Anchorage. So by all means, if you live in the city of Anchorage, pick up your phone and start calling your assembly members and start pushing for them to end this crap now, because if we don't, there's going to be businesses that are not going to be able to afford to they're not going to be able to afford to survive, and my job may be actually one of those. So anyway, here's the article. Mayor Ethan Berkowitz's emergency proclamation, as well as his emergency orders relating to the COVID-19 pandemic, end on April 14th. On the agenda for the Anchorage Assembly that same night is a resolution that would extend the proclamation to November 15th. November 15th. Okay, so another 6 months or so. This is ridiculous. We've already gone a month into this thing, and he wants to extend it to November the 15th. Assembly members John Weddleton and Meg Zalatel plan on introducing an amendment to move that date to June the 5th. I still think that that's too long, as well as some ordinances that would impact the mayor's Hunker Down order. Now that's the emergency proclamation, basically so that we get funds and everything from the feds, but that would also include the mayor's Hunker Down order. The first ordinance put forward by Zalatel would require the homeless individuals to seek shelter during the pandemic. Okay, sure. The individuals experiencing homelessness are currently exempted from having to hunker down. She said she introduced the ordinance after constituents had reached out to her about large gatherings of people not distancing themselves from each other, something the shelters enforce. Okay, sure. Weddleton has teamed up with Assemblymember Suzanne LaFrance to propose the ordinance that would allow businesses deemed non-critical to have more than one person on their premises to maintain the building and fill mail orders. Okay, yeah, that's great, but you know what? If you got somebody on your premises and you're paying them to be there, and you're not making any money, how are you going to continue to keep paying them till November the 15th? Okay, so we're all doing mail order like crazy because there's stuff we need, so we're doing it on Amazon. So if mail order isn't a problem, why not do it locally? Yeah, I agree with that. I've already actually gotten some stuff since we've closed down kind of that way. So another ordinance on the agenda comes from the Office of Economic and Community Development. It proposes a 25% reduction of construction fees associated with Title 21 and 23 as a way to encourage more construction. Well, that's great. Why didn't they do that before we had this crap? Construction is allowed, but we have a lot of unemployed, so if we can ramp up more construction, they can pull in, hire more people, Weddleton said. Well, you know what? That's great, but why don't we open up the rest of the businesses and then give everybody the chance to go in and do the stuff that they want to do? I'm looking at some of the comments on here. Hi, Samantha. Hi, Ed. I think America needs to open up. I think America needs to open up America. Our government has failed. Absolutely, it has failed. Karen Jones just put Anchorage residents really need to call, email their assembly. We can't do this for you. So if you want these executive orders to stay in place until November 15th, then don't do anything and don't complain about it later. So, if this is an open assembly meeting, maybe we need to go down there and we need to say screw the social distancing crap, and we just need to go down there and tell them off that, hey, you know what, we need our goddamn jobs back. We need to start being able to pay our bills again, and we need to go from there. These people are still getting paid. These assholes that are leading our government here in the state of Alaska, they're still getting paid for all this crap, and they're still putting us through it. Okay, so I would read the rest of it. Zolotel added that the ordinance would be revenue neutral because many people in the Public Works Department that the fees would have been, this is for the construction part of it, by the way, would have paid for, have been moved to the Office of Emergency Management, which uses FEMA funds. Both the ordinance put forward by Zolotel and Weddleton seek to adjust the mayor's emergency orders. However, they said it's been unclear whether the power to change an emergency order is something the assembly can do under the charter. Zolotel said that she expects this to be cleared up before the next meeting. So they don't even know if they can change it. That's pretty feckless if you ask me. I mean, they don't even know if they can change this stuff. So, they're talking about having this meeting, and it looks like it's going to be on the 14th of April. Yeah, 14th of April, which is coming up here real soon. And they don't know if they can actually change the emergency order. So this is pretty frustrating for me to watch this. For one, I'm not working, and I have a lot of time to complain and bitch and moan and all this other stuff. But I do make my phone calls and all that kind of stuff to the assembly members. So you need to start, people out there, if you want your jobs, you want to be able to go back to work, you're going to need to pick up your phone and start calling your assembly members, and you need to start really putting a lot of pressure on these people, because if we don't get back to work and America doesn't open back up, if we have to wait till November the 15th to even think about going back to work, my job may not even be there after that, because we still got to pay the bills, the light bill, the electric bill, and everything on the building. If we can't afford to pay people and we're not making any money, that business has to close. And I mean, it may close permanently. And the business that I'm in, we have a couple other places around us that we compete with, and they may have to shut the doors too. And these are places that have been open for 30, 40 years. So this is getting pretty damn ridiculous if you ask me. I think Berkowitz needs to step his ass down. I think the governor, Dunleavy, I think he needs to step up and he needs to shut it all down. And he needs to step in and say, you know what? He needs to reel in his mayor and say, you know what? No, we're not doing that. We're gonna open up the state and let people do what they got to do to survive. This little bit of money that they're sending us on unemployment and all this other crap, that's not going to cut it. We have for my instance, we were able to put off our car payments till June, but no longer than that. If that ends up being the case, then guess what? All my shit gets repoed. And I will guarantee you I'll be railing against people if that even comes to get close to that. So, people here in Anchorage, make sure that you pick up the phone, you start dialing your assembly members, and you start putting pressure on them. And call the mayor's office, because this is complete horseshit. I read that this morning, dude, and I'm still red in the face. My blood pressure is going through the roof. It can't happen. I mean, we cannot allow this kind of essentially communism, socialism, whatever, to keep us at home like this. I'm going stir crazy as it is. So, all right, looking at some of the other comments here. Anchorage residents, yeah, okay, already been on the phone all morning. All right, thanks, Jeff. It's one thing to make recommendations, but destroying our economy is not reasonable. Absolutely, it's not. I have no idea why our mayor is even thinking about November 15th. I don't know what date he's using to even consider this. what data he's even using to consider this. Thanks, Angela. Pass the information to all of your Facebook groups and tell them to contact their assembly rep, and do it now. The more pressure we put on them, the more chances that we got that they will actually do the right thing. November is the election time. His motives are purely political. Absolutely, they are. He wants to remain in power. So, you know what? Maybe we need to do some kind of an event in front of his house. I mean, that's an option. He does live here in Anchorage, so maybe we can make a trip down to his house and persuade him that way, peacefully, of course. Agree, but Anchorage residents need to call the mayor now. Yes, we do. Not only your, but all of them. Yes, there will be riots on a massive scale across the country. There will be if this continues, and the mayors and the governors of other states decided they want to hold this off till November the 15th. All hell will break loose. I 100% guarantee that once people start losing their right to be able to survive, their money that's in their pocket that they normally are used to, and it's bad enough we've gone for a month, struggling and being bored. It's kind of like an extended vacation. But you kick it into November the 15th, and now you've gone half a year without working or longer, and you're going to really, really cause a lot of problems in the United States, and it's not going to be pretty. So, anyway, that's what I got for you guys today. I'm going to get off here now, but please, Anchorage residents, even Alaska residents, I don't care who you are, call the mayor, Mayor Berkowitz, and really start railing on. Call his office and really start leaving some nasty messages, because this is bullshit. We have to stop, and we have to get back to work. We got to start putting food back on the table for our people here. We got to start getting money back in the bank, and we got to start making the economy move forward, because if we don't, I don't see any way out of this. This is definitely a political job. And November the 15th, think about that, people. Guess what? That's when the election with Trump is, and they're trying to keep everybody from going out to the elections. So November 15th, people, that's the number that they're talking about holding us on to. So we have to end this, and we have to end it now. It's already gone on too far. Mark McQueen says it's always been about the election. The Democrats, there's no way that they could beat him at the ballot box, so they're going to try and delay it and have mail-in. The only way that they can, that's the only way they can stack it. Absolutely. Mike Torsky, fuck Hunker Down. I agree, brother. I agree. Hell, I may just go out and drive around the city today just to fucking do it. I don't know. Yeah, I will not comply. Yeah, you got that right. Well, will everyone make a commitment right after this to call the mayor's office? I'm calling the mayor's office, and I will leave the nastiest message that I could possibly leave, because this is. And I think personally, if they're going to have this assembly meeting, I think we should be there. I think that Anchorage citizens, masks or no masks, I don't really care. Dress up in a friggin' hazmat suit, I don't care. I think we should be there. I think that the Anchorage residents, Alaska residents in general, I think that they should show up at this assembly meeting, and they should rail on our assembly members right now to stop this. It's completely ridiculous. Let's see. Okay, so that's tomorrow. Tomorrow is when we need to get down there, if that's going to be the case. So I need to know if it's going to be a thank you, Karen, for putting up that number. It's 907-373-7100. I will definitely be calling that number as soon as I get off of here today. And we'll go on. We'll do that. And I cannot fathom the fact that he wants this to go on until November the 15th. That's ridiculous. I can't even fathom that they're talking about June. I mean, that's 2 more months of sending home with our thumb up our ass. Not making money. The business that I work for, it's not making any money. My employees that work for me, they can't make any money. They're struggling. We're going to have to do something about this. I think personally, I think that the businesses should all start reopening. They can't shut you all down. They can fine you, but you know what? Sue them. I mean, everything that they're doing right now is completely unconstitutional. They're taking and telling businesses that we cannot do what we have always done. This is the first time that we've ever had this stupid uh, lockdown or whatever you want to call it. They've shut the country down intentionally. The people that are feeding Trump the info are full of shit. Um, it's gone on too long. Now the ones that are sick, yeah, I'm sure that you guys have been sick, and I'm not discounting that fact. The problem is we've had AIDS, and we didn't shut the country down. We've had the swine flu, we didn't shut the country down for that. We've had um, there's so many different viruses and stuff like that we've had. You just learn to live with it. You understand that it's there, and to shut an entire country down. To be honest with you, okay, so China had this shit first. They've opened back up. They're back open for business. Guess what? That's putting us farther and farther behind them. And I have a feeling that was exactly the goal of it. So let's get back to work, people. Let's get back to okay. Uh, okay, Karen just says 907-343-7100. No problem, Karen. Thank you. Yeah, you get on there, call the mayor's office, leave a message, and continue to keep calling because eventually someone's going to have to answer the damn phone. They're going to get sick of hearing it ringing. So, let's see here. Anyway, yeah, so we need to get down there to the assembly. We need to start calling the mayor's office, and we need to end this now. The people, make sure that if you see anybody in Anchorage, Alaska, you send this out to them because it has to end now, especially if they're without work, they're without their normal paychecks and stuff. We got to get this to stop. There's too many people out here struggling. There's too many people out here that aren't getting what they need to survive. It's gotten kind of pretty much ridiculous. So that's all I got to say. You know what? I'm actually going to open this one up here too. Let's see. I want to see here. Here's another article about him extending the Hunker Down order. Anchorage Assembly Mayor Ethan Berkowitz said in a municipal address about the coronas in the community Friday, there are plans to amend the local Hunker Down order and that currently expire on the 14th. The reason I went till April 14th is that was the extent that the Assembly authorized. We are going to go back and ask them to extend it significantly past that period of time. The orders that bring the emergency into reality, he said, we are going to have to figure out exactly how long they're going to last. Berkowitz said the municipality is waiting to obtain more information about how long the emergency orders can last. He added that the more that's known about the disease and the extent of it, not only in Anchorage but across Alaska, the more able he and his team will be able to figure out the severity of restrictions implemented in order to best protect the public. He also talked about the 3 new COVID cases that were released by the Anchorage Department of Health and Social Services. Berkowitz said that the lower number of cases in Anchorage is a sign that the emergency orders are working, but that the people of Anchorage can't relax and need to continue to maintain social distancing and stay at home as much as possible. That's what I think about your stay-at-home order. Another thing the mayor touched on in his briefing is the resources the small businesses can use to help them get through these economically tough times in the pandemic. Yeah, you want the small businesses to take out loans and have to pay them all back, but at the same time, there's no guarantee that some of these places can reopen or even pay their employees. Those include getting your stimulus check by filing your taxes. Yeah, that's going to take me 6 months to get. And 3 different federal options: the Paycheck Protection Program, an Express Bridge Loan Program, and the Economy Injury Disaster Program. More information on all those. Okay, yada, yada, yada. So, basically he's trying to get people to be completely reliant on the government. Again, that's another socialistic agenda that, we've all seen in the past. So yeah, you know what? We're gonna keep this. We're gonna keep this city locked down, and we're gonna have you apply for loans and all this other crap so that you owe the government money. Much of which most people can't repay as it is. So you know what, Berkowitz, go kiss my ass. You hold Berkowitz down, and I will. You hold Berkowitz down, and I will give him an epic Willie live on TV. Uh, yeah, it's forced socialism, 100%, Jeff. Well, if I was going to hold Berkowitz down, it probably wouldn't be for a wet Willie. I guarantee you that. Russell C. Wilmot. More and more people are seeing through the charade. I hope so, because it's getting worse and worse every chance we get. So every time we turn around. All right, folks, I'm going to get off. My rant's over with, but yeah. So anyway, I'll catch y'all later. I'll keep you updated. Make sure you call that number. Again, it is 1-907-343-7100. I'm going to call it right now. We'll catch y'all later. Peace out.